I just got home and I'm excited to open this package. I haven't changed my clothes, and this package includes the Hantek oscilloscope, my first oscilloscope. Hello world, today I'm about to show you my first oscilloscope, which is a PC based oscilloscope made by Hantek. It came in a packaging like this, you can see, and it's made of foam and tape, just like the packaged drugs. So I have taken a look inside already, but I put it back not the way it was, but similar. The main unit is this, which came in an anti-static bag, and this is basically this aluminium body. I think it is anodized, and they claim that the finishing is like iPhone, but actually no, it's not like the iPhone. And the rubber baby buggy bumpers on two sides, they give it some rigidity, I guess. Let's say if it falls face down like this or this, maybe it will absorb some of the impact. And there is even some travel here, if you can see. It's because the inside is kind of spring loaded. The springs are the ground connection to the metallic body from the circuit, and I have taken a look inside, and it seems that the circuit board is actually heavily made. It's a very thick PCB with the components. There are two analog to digital converters and just an IC with a lot of unpopulated space inside. We're not going to take a look inside because it's not really necessary. It's a 2-channel oscilloscope where the maximum voltage is written here as 35 volts. Now this is the Hantek 6022BE model, so one of the lowest in UK, lowest in models you can get. Has a sampling rate of only 48 megasamples per second, and I think this QR code directs you to the website, so you can get the instructions. So also on the other side there is the USB XI, which means you can connect it to other Hantek devices through this port, which is unnecessary for me. And this is the USB A type maybe connector that connects it to your PC. Fairly simple. There is a 1 kilohertz 2 volt peak to peak square wave signal for the probe attenuation and the ground connection. You'll need this to attenuate the probe. So I hope you understand this part. Let's look at something else. So this is one of the probes. They give you 2 probes for 2 channels, and the probe is, it kind of looks like a toy, I'm not gonna lie, but it does work. If you can see that, yes. And then this is the BNC connector and the ground connection, and as usual you can take it out. And the finishing, well, if you can see, it's not really that good, but at least it's a proper probe with the ranges. And let's see what it says here. The times 1 is 150 volts for the probe, I mean, not for the scope, and the times 10 is 300 volts, and it says category 2. I would doubt that, but I haven't checked if it really is it really has that kind of certification. And except for the probes and the unit itself, you obviously get this USB to dual USB male connector. I don't know why you need two of them, maybe one for the power, one for the data, but I found that connecting just one of them, the black one, seems to get the job done. Maybe there is something about the upgraded models that require this special thing, and they just give it to you anyway. Inside you are also going to find, well, this is actually one of the probe packages. Here is one. In there you're going to get, when you open it up for the first time, you're going to get, of course, the probe. That's this, and a packet containing some colorful bands, although I don't get it. If it's already color coded as blue and yellow, which you cannot change, why do you have to have so many of these colorful bands? Really doesn't make sense. And they give you a certification, although it looks more like a tag code, and the CD, the mini CD on which that software is written. So if you don't have a CD drive, then you can just go to the website and download it. But I'm not really going to show you the tutorials and everything because it's all available on YouTube, and you maybe you want to look at some of the specifications. Now this probe, the model number is PP80B, 80 megahertz, and that is obviously the first one. And with greater prices you get better things, and above 100 megahertz you also get some extra accessories like the BNC adapter and the ground spring. Otherwise, in my package these two don't exist, so I basically have the retractable hook tip, which is this part, and then the adjustment tool, which is basically a tiny screwdriver. Where is it? There it is. This is used to attenuate or use that potentiometer inside. And then these two colorful beads for isolating the ground. Basically you can put this on top of this, and this gives you some isolation to isolate the ground, or maybe if it's some signal, who knows. This is my first oscilloscope, and I could only afford this, so let's look at it. The bandwidth is 80 megahertz, the attenuation ratio is 1 times 10 times, then rise time is 4.3 nanoseconds, and it's not that good. These sound better, and of course the other parameters are all the same. You can look at these. This is the probe characteristics, by the way. There is no instruction manual for the unit, and by the way, this is a foldable thing, and they tell you about the various things that are available inside. And I don't have this spring or this adapter because mine is below 100 megahertz. And they also talk about the frequency compensation, how to attenuate the probes, and which are the correct waveforms and which are the wrong ones, and certain other parameters. And it says that there is double isolation, but if you connect it to a PC that does not have ground connection, then the ground will actually flow through your body, and if you have your feet on the ground, then you will get a slight electric shock. I have had some experience with this one, and that's basically it. If you want to see the software and stuff, it's very simple. It's fairly so simple that, as they say in the box, here are some of the features that they say, and they mention that the software and the the software has the auto setup function and everything that makes it a child's play, and that is actually correct. Although this thing is quite literally like a toy, but it's some people have recommended this as if you're like really broke, or you have your primary oscilloscope somewhere else and you just need to look at some pulse width or something, or some other very non-complicated things, then you can use this. It says spectrum analyzer, although I have not found anything like that, or the external trigger input. I think I'm gonna have to. So with all that said, now that I have an oscilloscope, I hope to do some of the things that I have been meaning to do. The problem is the I2C decoding that I really wanted from something like this. I'll have to do that manually, and a lot of other math functions that has to be done manually. All in all, it's much better than having just a multimeter. So see you guys. Here you can see on the bottom side of the box, they tried to illustrate how this thing functions. They show you a circuit and that Hantek scope, and then you have a MacBook that's running Windows XP. Okay, all right.